So I grew up in a very rough household. My mom was a very heavy alcoholic and my father was quite abusive towards her. And then when I was about 4 years old, my brother and I got taken away from our parents and put into the foster care system. That's kind of how I met God, through one of the foster families. It was very much the first time for me that I was seeing a healthy family and actually felt safe. When I turned 8, we had been running through the foster care system. My parents, 3 days after my birthday, on my birthday, my parents got into this disagreement, and then basically 3 days later, my mom had applied for a divorce because I guess obviously it wasn't ideal for us or her. But then a week later, my father, basically out of anger and wanting to control the situation and control her, actually took her life and then took his own. So that for me was, I guess, as I think people believe that because you're younger, you're unaware of these situations and it doesn't you don't accept it in a sense. And just immediately, I think as a young girl, I felt the presence of God say, it's going to be okay. I've got you. And then they sat us down, and I guess my first reaction was just to sit there and just kind of accept it. But then the anger came later, and the hurt and the pain of knowing that my father just chose to end his life, leaving his kids behind. And not only that, but he stole somebody else's life. And so the anger came, but it wasn't towards him, it was towards God. I guess at a young age, you're still trying to come to the realization of who God is, what he does. I was very angry at God specifically because I just couldn't understand why a God who loves us and a God who is so for us would allow something like that to happen. But it wasn't up until someone invited me to church. And I remember going, and I knew that God was there, but it wasn't until that I actually accepted God into my life. And it was more than just a prayer at the end of a service. It's not until you actually have your own encounter with the Holy Spirit that it becomes even more real. So, that's for me. I remember just sitting there and just crying and thinking, all right, there's a reason for my life, there's a reason I'm alive. And so for the rest of my life, every single day, I'm gonna allow the Holy Spirit to just move in me and use me. I was sitting in a youth service, and our topic for the semester was never alone. And I sat there and I couldn't get those two words out of my mind. I said to myself, I'm going to write a song about this. For me, it was a personal reminder that I'm okay and I'm not alone, even when it feels like you are. It's a simple message, but it's a very honest one of God is always there. When you least expect it, when you feel worthless or shameful. But when the Holy Spirit comes over you, you are strong and you are courageous and you are capable of more than you ever thought. For me, the Holy Spirit is a joy, and it's the backbone of my life, because without the Holy Spirit, I think I'm just me. But with him, I'm stronger, I'm capable, and I'm not fearful.